no matter what you do in life, you're going to sacrifice something. So here's what I mean by that. You either sacrifice today, like putting in the work, overcoming obstacles, getting over your own fears and pushing through, or at the end of your life, you sacrifice what could have been.
On the PRST Podcast, I'm with my guy Cody, and we're in Pasadena, and he happened to come through, and of course he had to hit me up, man. So
always, man.
So happy that we had an opportunity to tap in. Now, Cody is a high performer, and this is actually a special edition of On the PRST Podcast. So he's actually been on the podcast before, so you guys can go back and listen to the episode. But on today's episode, we were actually just riding around the city of old Pasadena. And a couple of topics came up, a couple of topics being ADHD, anxiety. And the interesting thing about these topics is relative to Cody, which is why I wanted him to speak on it. He's been able to build a multi-7-figure business with Kennected, right? And that's about to even scale to a higher level. And then also with this new app, right? Breakout, which is very similar to Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And you can talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
So we're going to dig into the anxiety and the ADHD, if that's cool.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about Breakout, let the people know if they missed the last episode of the podcast, which you do, then we can just go right into the ADHD and anxiety. Because I know that's why you guys are here. I know you've seen the title, so you want to tap into that. So yeah, man, appreciate you for creating some more space and then giving us the opportunity to connect. And give the people a little rundown of who you are. Again, touch on Kennected, but it's already out there. Talk more about Breakout, and then we can talk about ADHD and anxiety.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Cody Harvey. I have 2 different companies. One of them is called Kennected. It's based in Indianapolis, Indiana. We started about 3 years ago. It's a lead generation platform for businesses who are looking to eliminate all the time and money spent on prospecting, in a nutshell. The second company is called Breakout Audio. So it's a audio social networking platform. If you're familiar with Clubhouse, there's a lot of similarities there. But basically, it's a social network that allows you to connect with people from all over the world, get educated, get entertained, make money. There's different ways that if you're a content creator that you can make money on the platform. But it's really just about bringing people together no matter of their worldview, connecting them with one another and allowing them to learn from one another. So, yeah.
What I find interesting is you have one business, which is called Kennected, which basically helps people generate leads. Right?
Yep.
Through connections.
Sure.
On LinkedIn.
Yep.
You have this new business that's still enabling people to make connections.
Yeah.
Just in the audio space. It's very, i.e. Clubhouse. So the 2 similarities I see is bringing people together, connecting people
100%
through software, through an app. Why is this so important? Why do you feel like this was a problem that needed a solution?
Yeah.
Why Breakout?
I think both companies. So let's talk about the value of connecting people, right? So I come from a really small town, and I'm a believer that you don't know what you don't know, right? And so growing up, I had access to limited information. I didn't have a Rolodex. I didn't know what I didn't know. And it wasn't until I got out in the real world and was able to get mentored by other people to kind of show me the ropes and teach me things that I was able to really scale my life.
Yeah.
And so I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about connecting people to new ideas, new ways of thinking, new opportunities. And so both of those platforms at the core of them do exactly that.
That's
right?
That's what I saw. Yeah. And that's amazing. So today specifically, I have put up a post, and the post is basically about how people need to actually create connections and start building their community through email marketing and text messaging. But even if we made it even simpler, it's really just about relationship building.
That's it.
Right?
Going deep.
But now it's a good segue because some people get anxious about making connections.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether it's socially, via the apps or even in person.
Sure.
So what were some of your experiences building these businesses, especially Kennected? Because that one is, you guys are about to take to the next pinnacle. How were you able to be so productive so focused on building such a successful business and dealing with some anxiety and ADHD?
Sure. Yeah, I think number one, the common mistake I see a lot of entrepreneurs make when they go to start something or create a business is they feel like they have to put on this front that they're somebody of this important status, right? And they want to be perceived a certain type of way instead of actually going out into the marketplace and finding people and saying, hey, I don't know what I should be doing, right? There's an aspect of humility that will help catapult you in whatever line of business that you're in and attract the right types of people that will teach you,
that's
right?
100% true, yeah.
So for me, dealing with my anxiety and dealing with having like lots of insecurities when I first started out, the number one thing I did was I was very transparent and upfront. And I told people, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Will you please help me? Right? And that mindset was ultimately what led the right people in my life. And it took away all the pressure, because pressure comes when you're trying to pretend to be somebody that you're not. Yeah. Right? Because eventually you're always, like, in the back of your mind, you're always afraid that eventually you're going to get found out.
100%.
Right? That's what causes stress. Yeah. Right? So if you start the process off saying, look, I'm starting from scratch. I'm starting from zero. I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. Right? There's something that attracts the right type of people to your circle to actually take you to the next level.
What's up, y'all? It's Brendan Boyd, speaker, productivity coach, and host of the On the PRST Podcast. And I want to talk to you all about my brand new book, the 8 Secrets to Success Playbook. Now, this playbook is jam-packed with all sorts of value. So if you're a coach or a consultant or an expert and you're looking to 5X or even 10X your business, you definitely want to grab a copy of this playbook. I'm talking about conversions, lead generation, high ticket offer, continuity offer, the power of speaking, the power of making a book for yourself, promoting, advertising is all in this playbook. So you definitely want to make sure that you grab a copy. Click the link below, get a copy of your playbook, and I'll see you on the other side. So what was the mind shift within that? Because even to get to that level, there still has to be some sort of confidence or some sort of pressure that you still have to face for you to make that decision. Yeah. So for you to come to that decision, like, you know what, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna let these people know, or potentially, people know that I either want to be connected to, or I would like to learn from. That, I have this business, I have this great idea. I think it has some legs. I don't know what I don't know. Will you please help me? Where did you get that confidence from, or authentically, what do you remember from having that conversation within yourself that was like, you know what, I have to do this no matter how I feel? And then obviously from that decision, you start to gain a little bit of confidence. Yeah. So take us back to that moment. Because even what you're saying makes 100% sense. But even before you get there, you still have to make the decision to then actually do that thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, when I was starting off my family, right, and I got married and we had a kid on the way, I realized that, like, I had to make a decision on making a lot of sacrifices, right? And especially people that are anxious and have, ADHD, sometimes they're kind of all over the place and they can't make like a concrete decision to move forward with it. But here's the thing. No matter what you do in life, you're going to sacrifice something. So here's what I mean by that. You either sacrifice today, like putting in the work, overcoming obstacles, getting over your own fears and pushing through, or at the end of your life, you sacrifice what could have been. You're going to sacrifice one or the other.
That's a bar.
Right? So you got to make a decision now. What is it that you are willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice your full potential, or are you willing to sacrifice the grind and the work ethic that you need to do to get you where you want to go? Right? I'm willing to sacrifice this over here because I'm not willing to sacrifice my full potential and being everything that I can be for myself, my family, right? My kids, right? Because the thing is, no matter what happens in 5 years, you're going to be standing, sitting, or sleeping somewhere, right? And 5 years from now, you're going to look back and you're going to say, I'm either A, really proud of all the hard work that I put in to get to where I'm at, or man, I wish I would have worked out more. I wish I would have put in the extra reps. I wish I would have made more phone calls. I wish I would have shaken more hands, right? Yeah. So you got to make that decision now on where you want to be at in 5 years and just stick to it.
So, okay. So is it just that simple? Is it just a decision? Do these people that may be suffering with, like if somebody's watching this right now and they're like, yo, anxiety is hitting me. Like I was anxious even pushing the button to watch this, this piece of content right here. Do they just need to decide? Does it really come down to making that decision, deciding like, yes, I'm going to do it, and then making that action consistently? Is it as simple as that for someone that may be suffering with that? Do they need to like use something? Is there some resources, some supplements? Like, what is something that's going to help them stick to that decision?
Yeah,
help them to make that decision.
I don't want to throw out a blanket statement and just say, just make your mind up, right? Because a lot of people have probably tried that and it hasn't worked out. So, another key thing that I would encourage people to do if you do struggle from ADHD or you have massive anxiety is find high performers that have struggled with this in the past that can actually coach and mentor you.
That's a great one right there.
Right? Because, I believe that people fail when they're in isolation, but they succeed when they're in community.
Yes, that's true.
Right? So if you can plug in and find yourself in groups and networks of other people that have struggled with this type of stuff that can constantly be encouraging you. Because here's the thing, we're all insecure about something.
Yeah.
We're all anxious about something. We all have fears. We have daily fears. We have weekly fears. We have monthly fears. Like we all fear something. But what I've found is that your greatest calling in life, the purpose that God's put in your heart to achieve, is on the other side of that fear.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
And that path isn't meant for you just to walk alone.
I actually have it on my wall.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So I believe in God. I believe that God will put the right people in your life at the right time to be a resource to help you get to that other side.
Yeah.
So yes, I think it's about making a decision, a conscious decision. I think it's about finding yourself in community. I think that if it's too overwhelming, because people do have certain situations where, mental health is a real thing, right? So I think if it's too overwhelming, then you need to seek help. You need to talk to a therapist. You need to go to a doctor. You need to see what type of stuff that maybe you can get prescribed or get help, right? So I think there's all different types of things that you can do. But I think the biggest thing is not sitting and doing nothing.
Yeah.
I think it's about trying to take small steps forward, because what happens is you go from having to consciously think about this and getting into this routine to get to that next level to starting to do these things out of habit and unconsciously, right? So for me, I was kind of paralyzed with having so many opportunities of when we started the first business, which was Kennected. It was like, where do I even start? And I found myself not doing anything.
Because you felt overwhelmed?
Because I felt overwhelmed, right? I was paralyzed. And so I really started putting systems and processes in my schedule, right? Like everything was systemized and process oriented. And I found that the more I could put systems and processes around my work schedule, my life schedule, everything, the more I was able to create these habits faster. And the more that type of work ethic just became unconscious in nature.
So now you're tapping into lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it can really help someone and benefit someone if they think about how they're actually spending their time and their hours.
100%.
And not just letting their subconscious or routines that may not be as healthy just kind of like guide them through their day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was valuable.
Yeah.
That's hella valuable.
If you're a coach, consultant, expert, or specialist, there's only 3 things that you need to take you from where you are right now to where you want to go. And those 3 things are this: a roadmap, consistency, and the right coaching. So if you're coachable, if you can follow a roadmap, if you're ready to be consistent, I invite you to jump on a call with me or someone from my team, and we can lay out the play to get you from where you are now to where you want to go. But I'm going to be honest, not everyone is ready. This system isn't for everyone. This is only for someone who is ready and willing to be committed, who can follow a roadmap, and who is coachable. So if that someone is you, I invite you to jump on a strategy call with me or someone from my team. We'll lay everything out for you. All right? My name is Brennan Boyd, and I'll see you on the other side.
I would say, talking about time, that's something that I remind myself on a daily basis, is how valuable is time, right? So here's how much does it cost for a gallon of gas in Cali?
Bro, right now it's like $5.50.
Right, but you can go buy it, right?
You could.
Okay. So it's expensive, but you can buy it.
Yep.
How much is a sandwich, right? You can put a value on everything in the world. Doesn't matter if it's a gallon of gas, a sandwich, that camera, shoes, a car, a house. You can put a value on it. but how much is a second? How much can I buy a second of time for me for?
You're right.
Right?
You're right. Yeah.
It's invaluable.
It's invaluable.
You can't buy it. And so when you wake up every day knowing that time is the only asset that you can never buy back, that asset becomes the most valuable asset in the world. Why do you not prize that possession that you currently have, that you're experiencing, more than any other material object that you know of?
Yo, for real. Man, that was a bar, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, wow. Listen, I mean, I feel like you just gave a whole masterclass on that. This is a masterclass. This is On the Pursuit masterclass, man.
There we
Featuring
go.
Cody. Okay, so before we break out, because like I said, I want this one to be really focused on the topic at hand.
Sure.
What are a couple of action steps? I know you gave a couple of things that they could think about in Google and stuff like that.
Sure.
Find a mentor that may have, or find someone that's successful that may have done what you're looking to do. That may be questionable, but are there, what are like 1 or 3 things that maybe you do on a daily to still kind of manage any level of anxiety that you have?
Yeah, I'm a big believer that a lot of your problems can be solved if you actually write down what it is that you want to achieve in life.
I agree with that, yeah.
So before you go to bed at night, write down what are the 3 most priority things that you want to accomplish the next day, especially for people that struggle with ADHD.
Yeah.
Because if you're like me, you're going to wake up in the morning and your mind's, as soon as your feet hit the ground, they're going to be, your mind's going to be going a million miles a minute. But if you can take time in the evening, kind of ground yourself and say, what are the 3 things that I really need to accomplish tomorrow as soon as I wake up? How can I get to work, right?
Yeah.
You're going to wake up and now all of a sudden you have something to look at and like reground yourself with. Mm-hmm. The same thing with your life goals. Where do you want to be at in 5 years? Where do you want to be at in 10 years? Write that stuff down. And every day when you wake up and every night before you go to bed, ask yourself, is what I'm doing getting me closer to this or further away, right? And there's something unique about writing something down and looking at it every single day. And what happens is you unconsciously start to make decisions that will move you closer towards that.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's 100% true. There's several things. Because then you can add another layer to that and do like a whole vision board situation.
Yeah.
But that's actually true. So like you just said it, but there's several things that happened to me, this year. There were things I put on last year or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because it's like there could be some things that you just kind of just some wild things, like super high, super outlandish. And then you just fast forward, you're like, yo, I'm doing that right now. Or this is about to happen. Exactly. Or I already did it. Or like, now I can understand. It's like the first time I really focused on like, I want to make $1 million. And I saw this breakdown. And to me, it was like, this looks, even though it was broken down, it still looked crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I give an example. One was like, yo, if you have a $200 product, you need 5,000 people. To me, I'm like, I don't want to get 5,000 people, Like it still seems so overwhelming.
Sure.
But then like fast forward, now you look at it based on investments you may have made or coaches that, I may have been around or whatever the case may be. You're like, oh, this is that. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
It becomes more simple.
Sure.
It's like a language that you don't understand. And then you start to master the language. You're like, yo, I can speak Spanish now or French or, Swahili or whatever you're trying to learn. It now becomes innate. It's simple. You can process it. You can explain it. So yeah, man, I appreciate you for jumping on. It's like quick little episode of the pod, but really focusing on those topics because I've got a couple of inboxes from people that were struggling with that and haven't been taking action because of the fear, the anxiousness, the anxiety, the ADHD and stuff like that. So hope you guys got a lot from that. Make sure you follow this guy. He has amazing things. Breakout. There'll be a link below so you can tap into that. Get on that app. It's better than Clubhouse, right?
The jury's out. We'll see what happens.
So get on it early so you can be part of the first, second layer. Also, if you are, talk about Kennected real quick. Drop a little drop for them on Kennected. Why would they need Kennected?
Yeah. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, doesn't matter what space you're in, you're selling insurance, you're a financial advisor, you sell real estate, you're selling Girl Scout cookies. It literally doesn't matter. Basically, we tap into the back end of LinkedIn, and so you hyper target what your audience looks like, and we show you how to do that. We set the whole thing up for you, and let's say that there's 100,000 people in the US or in the world or whatever that would buy your product from you. Everything is going to be automated. So it's going to reach out to all of those people for you so you don't have to. So how long would it take you to reach out to 100,000 people, calling those people, sending emails, right? So it does all of that. And then it's just a numbers game. It's kind of like there's people that make $1 million selling vacuum cleaners every year, right? Mm-hmm. Why? Because they knocked on enough doors.
100%.
So what Kennected does is it knocks on all the doors, it finds the opportunities and puts everything on autopilot.
So maybe Cody is give us an affiliate link. We'll drop that down below. You guys can try it out. And if you like it, you can stick with it, man.
Cool.
All right, appreciate you. I'll see you guys on another episode. Man, maybe I might do some more light episodes. But
let's go.
All right, let's go.
If you're someone looking to level up in your personal life and also in your business, what if I told you there's only 2 things that you really need to focus on? Number 1 is your routines. If you knock down your routine each and every day, you're gonna be further along in your personal life. The other thing is your rituals. If you knock down your rituals each and every day, you're gonna be further along in your business life. And what if I told you you don't have to do this all by yourself? You can be part of an impactful group that's looking to level you up and support you along your journey. What's in the group? Let me give it a sauce. I'm talking about a daily tracker to make sure you stay on point. We read books that impact your life in real time. You get access to a group community where we're there to support one another. And there's 2 group coaching sessions each and every month. And guess what? It's only $1 for 7 days, so you can try it out. And then after that, it's $89 a month. All this value. So click the link below, get in a group. Let's level up your life. Let's level up your business. Let's go to the next level.